What's groovy? My name is Danye.
And I'm Marcia, and this is the
Hey Sissy podcast.
Thank you for watching previous episodes of the podcast. We appreciate all the love we've been getting, and the comments and the likes. And so today we're talking about fear. And not this fear. Ooh. But just basically how fear ain't nothing but a liar, and it keeps us from doing the things we need to do in life.
What's the acronym? What fear is?
Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. So lies.
Yes, all lies. I think that is kind of incorporating something like sort of kind of like anxiety as well.
Yeah.
We kind of create, scenarios and things in our head when it comes to maybe taking risk or, going and doing something. We kind of talk ourselves out of stuff.
Yeah, and it may be because of previous experiences, like something may have happened in the past where you tried to do something and it failed. Mm-hmm. And so now you've built up in your mind, either consciously or subconsciously, that everything I try to do is going to fail, so I'm not going to do it anyway.
And also I think a lot of times if in our past we may not have had the support we believe we should have or that we were looking for. I also think if we may not have that support now in any ventures that we go through, that we tend to kind of back out of stuff because we feel like we don't have people there to kind of guide us through it or support us in those things. So we, like I said, talk ourselves out of it.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things that we allow fear to talk us out of doing. So, and that could be starting a business or putting yourself out there, asking a person out on a date, or I don't know, going swimming or riding a bike, anything. Fear basically it's just negative self-talk in your head. Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, I want to do this. And so your initial thought is, yes, I want to do this. I'm excited to do this. But then immediately all those thoughts of, but what if this happened? But what if they say this? But what if they say this? And those things come up because your mind, in reality, your mind is trying to do what it thinks it needs to do to keep you safe. Mm-hmm. Because there's always some level of anxiety when you want to start a new thing. And so when your body starts feeling those anxious feelings, mm-hmm. your mind is like, no, don't do that. It's causing you anxiety. Let's just stay where you are. Let's mm-hmm. stay in this nice, safe, complacent place mm-hmm. where you already know everything that's going to happen right here and right now. Why you got to go try to do something new? No.
Stay right here.
Stay right here.
Because it's easier.
It's easier.
And don't get me wrong, it's easier to quit. Mm-hmm. It's easy to give up because you like, I'm cool where I'm at, so it's like, why do I need to throw myself out there or mess what I have up? And it's starting to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I think fear, like you said, is always in our mind. Yeah. When we're doing something outside of our comfort zone, like you said, our mind starts running 1,000 thoughts per minute, trying to talk us out of doing what we need to do. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, so how do you, really, I was about to ask, how do you overcome fear? But you're going to have that fear.
Fear is not a bad thing.
Right.
We need fear to keep us doing unnecessarily dangerous things. Mm-hmm. Fear is good to keep you from jumping off a building because your mind will be like, if you jump, you're going to die. And you're like, you're right, mind. Mm-hmm. You're right. I'm not going to do that. Mm-hmm. And also, like, we've always had fear from way back in the day. It's like if you're being chased by a lion, you need that fear to kick you in a high gear to run away.
Right.
But the thing is just remembering that, okay, my mind's going to have fear. Fear's not going to go away, but this is what I want to do, so I'm going to do it regardless.
Right.
Of course, I'm going to be a little cautious about it, mm-hmm. and I'm going to make smarter choices, mm-hmm. but don't let the fear stop you.
Yeah, you have to work through the fear. Mm-hmm. And, where there are going to be moments when you doubt yourself. There are going to be moments where you may not trust yourself. You may not trust your instinct. There may be moments where you're not fully confident in whatever you may present or whatever venture you're trying to take. But at the end of the day, it's like you'll never know the outcome or the result of it if you allow fear to talk you out of it. You talk yourself out of it. So if you wanted to open up a furniture business and you like, well, people not gonna buy my furniture, you don't know that. You didn't already failed before you even started.
Exactly.
It's better that you try, and it may not work out the first time, but that doesn't mean that you should stop trying. You know what I'm saying?
And honestly and truly, it's like if you want to open a furniture business and you want to ensure your success, then take courses, take business courses, learn how to make your own furniture. You don't have to make your own furniture to sell it, but learn how to make your own furniture. Get the background knowledge behind your business, and that will build up your confidence and ease your fear. It's like, I lost my thought. Ease your fear.
So, kind of like you were saying about the courses, I mean, find free courses. If you can't find any free courses and you may not have the financial means, your free public library has those resources that you can use to kind of help put your mind at ease of some stuff. So if you're trying to open a business and you're not fully confident on the knowledge, go to your library or find ebooks or stuff online to help give you the information. You have access to all of that stuff at your fingertips. So I think we should fully take advantage of that. For me personally, I think for the Black community, we have allowed a stagnant mindset to kind of, implement itself on us. And I think one excuse that we use is, it's harder for Black people.
Yeah.
And okay, I get that it's harder, but it's not impossible.
Actually, honestly, I don't think it's harder. I just think it depends on what you're trying to do.
Right. Okay.
So Black people, we now will support other Black people. So like, if you didn't know, I have a business, an editing business in regard to editing. All my clients thus far have been Black women. Like, I've only had one white client, my friend Mindy. Shout out to Mindy. But all my clients have been Black women. I don't market to Black women specifically. I am just a Black woman who markets my business, and Black women see me and want to support me.
Right.
So depending on what your business is, you can start off small with just the people in your community. People are out here selling t-shirts on Instagram or just selling t-shirts just to their community. You can do stuff to your community. People start off wanting to have their business be the next Apple.
Right.
Apple didn't start off as Apple. Apple started in Steve Jobs' garage.
Right.
You gotta start somewhere. Yes, you wanna have the end goal in mind.
Right.
But you gotta start. So don't allow fear to keep you from starting because you're like, I'll never be Apple. Well, why do you have to be Apple? Just start off being such and such as business.
I think one thing that kind of helps me is that I guess even if my dream seems cliche, there's a whole bunch of people already doing it, so why can't I?
Yeah.
I mean, you see how many grocery stores do we have? Yeah. How many different shoe companies do we have?
Different brands of water. Water comes out the sink for free, but people still out here buying water and making new water brands.
I guess so.
Jaden Smith just made just water in a box. But it's gonna sell because whose name is on it? Jaden Smith.
So if you feel like your dream is cliche, still don't talk yourself out of it. If you want to be a music artist, yeah, there's thousands of other people who want to be a music artist, but that doesn't mean that you don't have that opportunity. I think every person still has that opportunity because we all have the same access to the same things to be able to get to that place to propel ourselves. So don't think because you don't sound like this person or look like this person or this and of that person, you are your own person. Yeah. So one comparison, stop comparing yourself.
Yeah, because Cardi B didn't allow there being a Nicki Minaj to stop her from being a rapper, and Megan Thee Stallion didn't allow Cardi B or Nicki Minaj to stop her. There's a bunch of female rappers out here doing their own thing, and they didn't say, oh, well, I can never be Nicki or Cardi, so I'm not going to even try. They're like, I'm not Nicki or Cardi, that's why I'm going to try.
Right, even Lizzo. I mean,
yeah, Lizzo's my girl.
And she from Texas too.
Yes,
also was Megan Thee Stallion, right? So that goes to show y'all they both came out the same place. They're both Black women. They both doing the same thing. But, you know, of course they have their own little niche that they bring to the table, which of course you definitely should figure what that is for you. But they didn't let the fact that they were pursuing the same things stop them. So don't think because, you know, so-and-so want to be, all these people want to be a singer that you can't sing. You can be a singer too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and your goal may not be to start a business. Your goal could be just learning how to swim. Do it. Like last year, I learned how to ride a bike. I know I'm old, but I never learned as a child. And so I was like, you know what? I want to be able to ride bikes when I go on vacation. I was looking at Instagram and I saw this couple and they was just riding bikes around Hawaii. And I was like, that looks like so much fun. I want to learn how to ride a bike. And it was a scary thing when I was learning. My little sister was there.
Yes, I was.
And my big sister was there. And they were there trying to help me and support me. And I, like, in my mind, I was afraid of falling. Like, I'm so scared to fall and hurt myself, which is one of the reasons why it took me so long to learn, and it was even why I was struggling learning. And then after I learned, I'm riding my bike every day, doing my thing. Then a wasp flies into me, and I fall off my bike and skirt up my leg and my arm. I hurt myself after I had already learned how to ride a bike, but I still kept riding. I still ride my bike. That happened months ago.
And like, there's going to be situations and things that you're going to encounter that's going to strike fear in you. Not even just things about fulfilling your dreams. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in this world that could be fearful. You know, accidents, active shooters, robberies, rapes, murders, a whole bunch of different stuff that can make us fearful. But it's like, we should of course be aware and observative of our surroundings, but we shouldn't.
Observative.
Observative is a word.
We're going to look that up. I think your word you're looking for is observant.
Oh, I think that is. But you should be, of course, aware, but don't let that, you know, stop you from going outside. Don't let that stop you from, like, something just occurred in Walmart. Don't let that stop you from going to Walmart, because that may not happen everywhere to everyone. And yes, it's unfortunate for those people that it has happened to. Yes, that's very, very sad and unfortunate. But don't let that stop you from doing that. Don't be like, I can't go out the house no more, because you shouldn't live your life like that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a real condition. There are people who are afraid to leave their houses. I forget what it's called. But there are people who are terrified of leaving their houses for whatever reason. But it's like, you gotta live your life. Our lives aren't as long as we like to believe that they are. And we allow fear. We basically use fear as a procrastination technique. And I've heard this somewhere. It says procrastination is the belief that life is on our timeline, and that is false. Like, we're living this thing day in and day out, and we forget that at some point it will end. And so it's like, do you want your life to end without you fulfilling your dreams, without you starting that business, without you going on that trip, without you saying hi to that girl? Like, we allow fear of just saying hi to someone paralyzes. It's like, if you want to talk to someone, talk to them, ask them out. What's the worst that can happen? You ask her on a date and she says no. I mean, some people are jerk faces and they may laugh at you. Oh well, don't let that make you believe something's wrong with you. It's something wrong with that person. If they treat you that way and they go out of their way to be mean, that person is a jerk face, and it has nothing to do with you.
Jerk face.
Just know that, okay, well, at least I asked. At least I did my part. So I know the next time I do it, it'll be easier and easier to do it.
I've learned that failure is not when you actually fail. You fail when you stop.
Yes.
So when you stop trying. So like my sister was saying, why live your life with what ifs and could have beens? For what reason? Because you're always going to create those scenarios in your head. Well, what, if I would have did this, if I could have did this, why even pose them questions? Why not just do it?
Yeah.
You know, we just never know what can happen. And even if we do it and it doesn't happen immediately, that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen at all.
Yeah.
So
essentially, life is a process of taking small steps towards an ultimate goal. So don't allow fear to keep you from reaching your goal. Don't allow fear to distract you and keep you stagnant and in a place of unfulfillment.
Because even for myself, I have my dreams and stuff that I want to pursue. And I'm not going to lie, there are times when I feel like, oh, this is not good enough, this is not good, this is not great, this is not like this person, this is not like that person. I'm guilty of that comparison. I'm guilty of that, that doubt and that lack of trust in my ability.
Yeah.
But through that, I'd be like, you know what? It don't even matter, because it can happen for me. It's going to happen for me. It's not can, it will happen for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that you won't doubt. I'm not saying you won't be afraid. Yeah. I'm not saying that you won't lack confidence, because you will. But it's what you do in those moments of fear, in those moments of lack of confidence, in those moments of self-doubt. Even if you don't believe in yourself, you're like, I'm struggling right now, but you know what? I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep pushing, because I'm going to get better, and I'm going to start to believe in myself more and more. It's just that constant perseverance and determination to keep me moving forward, even in that mental war and mental anguish within yourself.
Yes. Yeah, because it's just a part of living. It's like, especially if you're a very self-reflective person or overthinker, your mind is gonna go to the worst case scenarios because your mind thinks it is protecting you. Mm-hmm. And in most cases it's not. Like, I don't know, it's funny because when I started my business, I was like, I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. That's the end of that. But then once I started getting other little worries and fear around the business, like worrying about how I'm gonna market myself on social media, allowing it to stress me out to the point where I stopped doing the things I needed to do in other areas of my business. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, you know what? I don't need it. I just stopped doing it all together mm-hmm. and focus on the things that were more important. And so it's like, focus on the things you can do here and now. If this major thing down the road is stressing you out, just drop it by the wayside. Like, I don't need to worry about that now. This is where I'm gonna put my attention, right here.
I think that's important how you said that. We have to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the marketing, you're like, okay, how am I gonna market myself? How about you just focus on just like getting your name out there, and then watch other people read on marketing to figure out how to market yourself. But you won't know how to market yourself if you don't have anything to market. So create that Instagram, start trying to create that site on Wix or something like that. Then you can move forward and say, okay, my Instagram is created, my website is created, how can I market from there? But if you don't give yourself nothing to work with, you're creating that fear within yourself, and you're creating it from nothing. Mm-hmm. You're creating stuff that doesn't even have no meaning to it, because it's nothing that, you know what I'm saying? I think because we think so far ahead that we scare ourselves.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, having that 5-year goal, that 10-year goal is good, like I said in previous episodes. But because you're trying to think so far ahead, you are freaking out right now. Oh my gosh, how am I going? I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, I want to have 3 restaurants and 10 do this business and have this property. But of course, you had that idea, like, I'm gonna own property one day. But right now, I got my editing business. And then, I'm going to focus on building my editing business, and then later on down the road that.
So real talk, I was having some fear and anxieties about having kids, right? So I was like, oh my God, the Black female maternal mortality rate is high in the United States. Oh, I don't want to have a baby now. What if I die? That was a fear of mine. Mm-hmm. Then I was like, man, HIZ education system is trash. Mm-hmm. I don't want my kids to be in HIZ. What am I going to do about that? Mm-hmm. And like, oh my God, I'm having all these fears. How are we going to take care of these mm-hmm. kids? This, that, and the other. And it's just like, I'm talking myself up with fears for children I don't have.
Right.
Kids, I don't have no children. And so I talked to my therapist about it, and it was so funny. Talk to people about your fears and watch them break them down in front of your eyes.
All right.
I told her this. I was like, yeah, but Black mothers are dying and stuff in the hospital. She was like, well, lucky for you, you live in Houston with the best medical center in the country. I said, girl, you sure right. That thought never entered my mind. I live in Houston with a world-renowned medical center, mm-hmm. Texas Women's Center. It's like, my friends have had babies there. They alive. What am I worried about? Mm-hmm. And she was like, HISD ain't the only school district in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Show right, ma'am. You show right. And I was just like, oh, and I don't want to make damaged people. She's
Mm-hmm.
like, but you're in therapy. You already taking the steps to not be a damaged person.
Right.
Your kids will be fine. I was just like, literally, one therapy session, she broke down all my fears, and now I'm like, I'm ready to have babies. So, so talk to someone about your fears and let them help you dispel them. Because a lot of times we get caught up in our minds rotating these fears around, and if we just take the moment to have a conversation with someone else, they can reassure us that those fears aren't founded. You're like, oh, I'm scared to do X, Y, Z, and I don't know how to do this and this and that. And that person will be like, oh, well, I know such and such. They can help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done this, so I can help you with that. And Danye know how to do that, so she help you. Like Danye edits all of our videos. I didn't even know Danye could do that. And it never even crossed my mind, be like, oh, well, how are we going to edit these videos and put them up on YouTube?
Right.
And Danye just knew how to do it. And I was like, okay, cool, bet.
I mean, honestly, things like actually like fall into place. As crazy as it seems, we may go through a lot of things in life, but then when you look back on it, you be like, wow, that just kind of fell into place for
Facts,
me.
big facts.
You just like, I was just big time struggling through this whole time.
Stressing about it for nothing.
Yeah, when I actually did it and went through it, everything just kind of fell into place for me. So if we never get to that place of going and trying to work through the fears, we may not overcome the fear completely, but if we go work through the fear, you know, we'll find things falling into place like, well, goshly, this is happening for me.
And one of the craziest things I think about as if you're a Christian, one of our things that we do is we worry.
Oh,
Even though the Bible tells us repeatedly, don't worry. If the birds don't worry about how they gonna eat, and the fish ain't worried about how they gonna eat, and the lions ain't worried about how they eat, why are you worried? And it's like we have moments throughout our lives, time and time again, of where, like you said, we came out on the other side. But it's like we forget about all those past positive moments and only focus on the times that things went wrong. But you gotta keep a record of the things that went right. You gotta, some people have a gratitude journal or a box where when something good happens, they write it down and they put it in a jar. And at the end of the year, they go through and they read about all the wonderful things that happened.
wow, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, because we be having short-term memory loss.
No, real life. Something good had happened to us the day before, but as soon as something go bad the next day, oh, my life is the worst. Oh my gosh, life is over, life is bad, life is this, Dad, you just got a raise, you just got a promotion yesterday, and so then text you happy birthday the next day, and just life is just over after that point. I think that's really, really good that we have to be grateful for.
Gratitude will change your perspectives about a lot of things.
Right.
So Diane, like honestly, what is one thing now that you're allowing fear to keep you from doing?
I don't know if it's fear. I think more so what's stopping me is wisdom. Cause okay, I'm trying to make a move. And of course I want to use wisdom in that move to, make sure I'm financially prepared for that.
Yes.
So sometimes I wonder if, faith, that risk with faith will trump wisdom or vice versa.
No.
No? Okay. Well, that's the answer to my question. Oh! Also, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind.
There we go.
That's
there
what I wanted to say. Okay. I'll put that in at the time.
So, faith goes hand in hand with wisdom.
Okay.
Because you have to have the wisdom to know what is a God's plan and what is your plan.
Okay.
Because we, of course, can have faith that all our plans will work out, right? I mean, I just had faith. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna open restaurants tomorrow. It's gonna work out well.
Right.
But I may lack the wisdom for that restaurant to actually succeed.
Right.
you can't open a restaurant if you don't know how to cook.
Right.
You can't open a restaurant if you don't know how to manage money.
Right.
Or you don't know how to hire people. Or you don't know people who have money. You don't know people who can cook. That's a lack of wisdom.
So what about those people who be like, I had $300 in my bank account and I moved to Los Angeles and this and the third.
Those people had the wisdom to do that.
Okay.
They literally had the know-how or the resources. So yeah, they had $300 in their bank account, but who did they move in with? Did they stay at Airbnb and then they went and hit the pavement every day until they found an apartment and a job? That's wisdom to know what you need to do when you get there. The wisdom to make a plan and the tenacity to enact that plan.
Right, so you can take that risk, but on with that risk you have to have plan.
You can take the risk, but with that risk you have to have, of course, you have to have faith, you have to have wisdom, you have to have knowledge, you have to have resources. Faith is just one component in success.
Right. So I will say I also kind of struggle with comparison a little bit. I'm not. I of course I motivate myself, but sometimes I still kind of struggle with that fear of comparison. As I'm not going to be good as this person or that person. I have this element, but I don't have this element that person has, who's already up there.
Yeah.
So how?
So a lot of things that I've heard people say is compare yourself to yourself. Compare Danye now to Danye this time last year. Are you a better person now?
Yes.
Are you further along in life than you were before?
Yes.
Are you more responsible, more wise?
Yes.
Then be grateful for Danye now.
All right.
Be happy that Danye now is not Danye last year.
All right.
I don't know if I can say the same thing.
Right.
I think I'm kind of the same place I've been last year.
Okay, well, you need to make some changes.
Yeah, don't be like me. But like legit, because sometimes when you get to a certain place in life, like where I am, I got a good job. I got a good salary. I'm married. I got a good house. But, you know, I got a car and things. I got investment plans and 401ks and things. All those things look good once you got them. And you like, well, because, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. When you grow up with less than or with constrained finances, your goal of success may be kind of limited.
Right.
So for where I am now, to me, I have reached that level of success I dreamed of growing up. Like, okay, I can't wait to have investments, a 401k, a nice apartment, and this, that, and the other. I have that. So now it's like, okay, do I want to stay here for the rest of my life? I have to reevaluate now what success looks for me. And so I do have to compare me to me. And it's like, okay, if I've been in the same place for the past 2 years, well, where do I want to go next?
Right.
And so that's honestly what I'm trying to work through at the moment. What does the next 5 years look like for me?
I wouldn't even go as far as 5 years. I would say, what does the rest of the year look like for you? What do you think you can do for yourself to take that step forward into changing who Marcy was even last month to who Marcy will be this month or next month? Because, I mean, of course it's important to look far ahead, but don't look so far ahead that you're going to miss tomorrow. So one thing right now, what would you do to, I guess, get you into that place where you get out that you have a place of success where some people will see, but how can you acquire more wealth and wisdom and knowledge? What can you do?
Yeah, I think honestly the thing that I'm trying to work on now is better managing my time. So it's like right now I'm doing these two things. I'm doing my full-time 9 to 5 and I'm doing the business, but I'm not working my business as best as I believe I could be. And of course that could be part me over criticizing myself, and it also could be part truth, like I'm not doing enough. And so I guess one thing I could do, my goal for the end of the year, for the next 3.5 months for the remainder of the year, is make out a plan for how I'm going to improve with how I manage my own business.
All right, and which is good. So you got to write that down.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think like you were saying, you over criticize yourself. We are our own worst critic. Nobody will ever tell us nothing. And we will create all these different things that we tell ourselves that nobody has ever even said to us. Mm-hmm. You're not this, you're not that, this, and the third. We're our own worst enemy, our own worst critic. So we have to change the way we think about ourselves and the things that we aspire to do or be. Because if we're over critiquing ourselves, that's when we're going to get into a place where, you know what, there's just no point in me even doing it because...
And I think that's a part of fear too, because it's just another way for your negative self-talk to keep you from doing better things in your life. It's fear to keep you where you are. It's like working out. It's a struggle for some of us. If you ain't never been an active person and you try to work out and the pain of it, your body's like, you don't need to work out. Or your mind is like, you don't need to work out. You was fine before.
Right.
The doctor said your bill of health was fine. You good, girl. You good. Talking to myself.
I mean, it's important to talk to yourself, but at the same time, what are you saying to yourself? Like I think I've said this in a previous podcast. We can't focus on what's missing. We have to look at what's possible. One thing with starting a business or that venture is we always look at the money of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have the money. I can't do it. I can't do the money. What free? You can do a lot of free stuff now. Social media is free. Reading, like I said, reading books in the library is free. Do the free stuff now. And one pastor, T.D. Jakes, said, God gives us, he gives us the tree.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
He said, I'm paraphrasing. He said, we're asking God, please give us the house. God has given us the tree to be able to make a house, make a table, make a chair. He's given us the resources, the people, the places, and the things to do everything. And when it doesn't come the way that we asked for it, we think that we didn't get it, or that he didn't answer our prayer, or that it's not happening for us. For those who may not, I guess, be religious. You may be like, okay, well, I'm gonna start my t-shirt business, and I'm gonna get these t-shirts, and if nobody supports your t-shirts in the first month, you're like, okay, I failed.
Nothing is instant. Nothing. Everything worth having takes time.
Yes. So I think that's very important. That don't focus on what's missing. Look at what's possible. Anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it.
Go after it. Go after it. Whatever it is for you. If you want to start a business, start it where you are. All you gotta do, buy your domain name. That's it. Just
how much is that?
$25. Like, depends on how much it is. GoDaddy is always having sales on domain names. You can buy a domain name for as little as $5, maybe $15 for 3 years, depending on how they want to set it up. Buy a domain name. You ain't even gotta buy a domain name. Set up a free Instagram account. People are out here selling whole t-shirts, lace front wigs on Instagram. People out here doing hair through Instagram, selling their services. You don't have to have any money. This video we making right here, free 99. I guess it costs the electricity and the internet, but we was gonna use that anyway. Yeah, and the cell phone bill, we was gonna pay that anyway. So it's literally costing us nothing to make the video.
Right.
It's just, Diane was like, let's do it, and I was like, well, let's do it, and here we are. We had a thought. We didn't let fear stop us. We didn't be like, well, what if people say this, or what if people say that, or what if people don't like it? We were just like, let's do it, and we do it.
Because look, y'all, people gonna say stuff regardless. You can be the prettiest person, you can be the most fit person, you can be none of that. You can be the smartest person. People gonna talk about you anyway. Yeah, they're gonna have their opinions of you anyway.
Yeah, you're not gonna be for everyone. Those aren't your people. Focus on the people who are for you. Like Kev on stage says, he focuses on the 95% of people that do support him. Even though he struggles with it sometimes, and we all gonna struggle with the 5% that say something negative, because we, in our minds, we think that everyone should like us, but they're not going to. So don't focus on the naysayers, the negative ones. Look towards the positive ones, the ones who are not only going to support you, but who are also going to hold you accountable and also tell you when you are honestly and authentically being foolish.
Right. For some reason, we internalize the negative stuff so much that it overshadows any positive that we get. We always look at that, and I think I'm guilty of that too. But what if this person don't like it? What if that person don't like it? What if this? And it's like, okay, but what about the people who are gonna like it? Hello, we're over here. We like it. Why are you so concerned with the people who don't like it? Because not everybody's going to like it.
Yeah, you can't mistreat the supportive ones to try to get to the ones who don't support you.
So, okay, I have a question. How do you handle excuses from your past, and how do you handle excuses? So like sometimes, we deal with stuff in our past. We're like, well, I can't do this, or I deal with this because of this happened in my past. Because I feel like an excuse is a form of an excuse for our bad behaviors and our reasoning for not wanting to do stuff. So how do we handle that? How do we move forward from that?
I think it's just a lot of this comes down to mindset.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do, and what are you willing to do to get there?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, yes, that happened in your past. What can you learn from it?
Mm-hmm.
How can you move past it?
Mm-hmm.
We can't do anything. We can't do everything by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Get help. So it's like, what resources can I use to help me get past that? What resources can I use to help me learn or see the positive sides in those bad experiences?
Mm-hmm.
Change your mindset. It's not, okay, every time we say something like that, it's not an easy process.
Mm-hmm.
Everything involves work. Anything worth having is worth working for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do you want to be complacent in your life, stagnant? Are you happy with where you are? If you're happy where you are, kudos to you. Stay there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want more and you always envision and dream of more,
Mm-hmm.
seek help to take those steps to get there. And when those excuses arise or those negative thoughts arise, be like, acknowledge them. Okay, I hear you, negative thought. Let me see if I can utilize you or not.
Mm-hmm.
If you can utilize it, that negative thought has some value to it, and you're like, okay, maybe you have some point, maybe I shouldn't, go out and play with, I don't know, electronics in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll wait till later. This is a
I
weird
think
example.
It was. But I'm gonna pick up where you left off. Sometimes negative things can motivate you. Maybe you were. I think people use this as an example. Sometimes you may be bullied, maybe for your size, and that negativity can push you to better your diet, exercise, and stuff like that. You can take negative stuff and kind of turn it around for your use, because maybe you weren't really confident in yourself, and those people kind of like got in your head, even though it was kind of bad. It kind of like pushed you to. So some people do that as a revenge mechanism, like, you know what, you say I can't do it, you say I won't make it, well, I'm gonna show you what's up and I'm gonna do it. So you can use that to your benefit, but that's if you use it in that particular way. If you allow negative stuff to get in you and you allow it to defeat you, then that's when your mindset needs to be tweaked and turned around. Like, okay, they saying what they want to say, they can say what they want to say. As bad as this may sound, you really got to take a nonchalant, I don't care attitude. You can take in consideration people's opinions and criticism, but you don't have to run with it. You just got to be like, okay, say your piece, and I'm going to go on about my business. Say what you want to say. I don't care. I'm going to do what I got to do. That's your business.
And sometimes criticism may be beneficial for you. Not all criticism is to break you down emotionally.
Right.
Listen to the criticism without the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna hurt when someone criticizes something you do, because you want to feel like you're doing everything right.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone tells you you're doing something wrong, you can be like, ouch, that hurt a little.
Mm-hmm.
But listen to what they're saying. Roll around in your mind and think objectively. Is what they're saying valuable to me?
Mm-hmm.
Can I utilize this in a way to better my life or better what I'm doing in this moment?
Not everybody is a hater.
Yes, not everybody is a hater.
Everyone, yes, of course, is entitled to their opinions, and people are going to voice their opinions regardless. So, but not everyone is a hater. Not everyone's hating on you. Mm-hmm. People actually give logical, wisdomatic suggestions to people, and they assume that as hate. But it's not always hate. it's just a better suggestion, I guess, particularly for whatever situation that may be. You know what I'm saying? So don't think everybody is a hater, because it's not really true.
Some people are legit just trying to give you good advice to better your life, and they're haters. But 9 times out of 10, they're not a hater. I mean, unless you Kim Kardashian, you ain't got thousands of haters.
You'll know the difference between hate and criticism. When somebody like does something like to like bash your character or your mental, or say some really hurtful things, and that's hate. But if somebody maybe under your comments or suggest to you like, well, hey, I think you should take this approach to it, or hey, I suggest you do this and stuff, anything like that is just true suggestion and helpful hints or something.
I mean, honestly, just look at it and see if you can use it or if you can't. Just sort through it. That's all it is to it. I think we've talked this around and around enough.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for watching this episode of the Hey Sissy podcast. We appreciate all the views and comments, likes, and subscriptions.
Don't be scared, you guys.
Fear ain't nothing but a liar.
Fear ain't nothing but a liar. All right. Peace.
Bye.